General Studies. Part 1. Science Audiobook. Subject 2. Chemistry. Lesson 1. Atomic Structure. Introduction. Every substance in our surrounding is made up of unique elements. There are 118 elements identified worldwide so far. Out of these elements, 92 elements occur in nature and the remaining elements are synthesized in the laboratories. Copper, iron, gold and silver are some of the elements found in nature. Elements like technetium, promethium, neptunium and plutonium are synthesized in the laboratories. Each element is made up of similar, minute particles called atoms. For example, the element gold is made up of similar atoms which determine its characteristics. The word atom is derived from the Greek word atomos. Tomos means smallest divisible particle and atomos means smallest indivisible particle. Ancient philosophers like Democritus have spoken about atoms. Even our Tamil poet Avviyar has mentioned about atoms in her poem while describing Thirukkural. But none of them have scientific base. The first scientific theory about atom was given by John Dalton. Followed by him, J. J. Thomson and Rutherford have given their theory about atom. In this lesson, we will study how atomic theories evolve at different times. Matter is around us everywhere. Matter is made of atoms. Curiously, the idea of atom was first proposed by the Greek philosophers in the 5th century BCE. But their theory was more philosophical than scientific. The first scientific theory of the atom was proposed by John Dalton. Few of the postulates of Dalton's theory about an atom were found incorrect by the later on studies made by J. Thomson, Rutherford, Niels Bohr and Schrödinger. In the light of the result of the researches, most of the limitations of Dalton's theory were removed and a new theory known as the modern atomic theory was put forward. The main postulates of modern atomic theory are as follows. An atom is no longer indivisible after the discovery of the electron, proton, and neutron. Atoms of the same element may have different atomic mass. Discovery of isotopes 17Cl35, 17Cl37. Atoms of different elements may have same atomic masses. Discovery of isobars 18Ar40, 20Ca40. Atoms of one element can be transmuted into atoms of other elements. In other words, atom is no longer indestructible. Discovery of artificial transmutation. Atoms may not always combine in a simple whole number ratio, e.g. glucose C6H12O6C. HO is equal to 6 hours 12 minutes and 6 seconds or 1, 2, 1 and sucrose C12H22O11C. HO is equal to 12 hours 22 minutes and 11 seconds. Atom is the smallest particle that takes part in a chemical reaction. The mass of an atom can be converted into energy, E is equal to mc2. The modern atomic theory is the basis for all the studies of chemical and physical processes that involve atoms. You have studied the most fundamental ideas about an atom in your lower classes. How small is an atom? An atom is 1,000 times smaller than the thickest human hair. It has an average diameter of 0.0000000001 m or 1 times 10⁹ m. To understand an atom's size with the familiar things we know, now let us find what is the size of a pencil, red blood cell, virus and dust particle. 1 times 10 dash 2 m 1 times 10 dash 4 m 1 times 10 dash 6 m 1 times 10 dash 7 m 1 times 10 dash 10 m. Now you could imagine how small an atom would be. Evolution of idea of an atom. Many scientists have studied the structure of the atom and advanced their theories about it. The theories proposed by Dalton, Thomson, and Rutherford are given. Dalton's atomic theory. John Dalton provided a basic theory about the nature of matter. He proposed a model of atom known as Dalton's atomic theory in 1808 based on his experiments. The main postulates of Dalton's atomic theory are: all the matters are made up of extremely small particles called atoms. Greek philosopher Democritus used same name for the smallest indivisible particles. Atoms of the same element are identical in all respects: size, shape, mass and properties. Atoms of different elements have different sizes and masses and possess different properties. Atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed, i.e., atom is indestructible. Atoms of different elements may combine with each other in a fixed simple ratio to form molecules or compounds. An atom is the smallest particle of matter that takes part in a chemical reaction. John Dalton, son of a poor weaver, began his career as a village school teacher at the age of 12. He became the principal of the school 7 years later. In 1793, he moved to Manchester to teach physics, chemistry and mathematics in a college. He proposed his atomic theory in 1803. He carefully recorded each day the temperature, pressure and amount of rainfall from his youth till the end. He was a meticulous meteorologist. Advantages of Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's theory explains most of the properties of gases and liquids. This explains the laws of chemical combination and law of conservation of mass. This theory helps to recognize molecular differences of elements and compounds. Limitations of Dalton's atomic theory. Atom is no longer considered as the smallest indivisible particle. Atoms of the same element have different masses, isotopes. Atoms of the different elements may have same masses, isobars. Substances made up of same kind of atoms may have different properties, X. Coal, graphite and diamond are made up of carbon atoms but they differ in their properties. Thomson's atom model. J.J. Thomson, an English scientist, proposed the famous atom model in the year 1904, just after the discovery of electrons. Thomson proposed that the shape of an atom resembles a sphere having a radius of the order of 10 to 10 meters. The positively charged particles are uniformly distributed with electrons arranged in such a manner that the atom is electrically neutral. Thomson's atom model was also called as the plum pudding model or the watermelon model. The embedded electrons resembled the seed of watermelon while the watermelon's red mass represented positive charge distribution. Plum pudding atomic theory assumed that the mass of an atom is uniformly distributed all over the atom. Limitations of Thomson's atom model. Thomson's atom model could successfully explain the electrical neutrality of atom. However, it failed to explain the following. Thomson's model failed to explain how the positively charged sphere is shielded from the negatively charged electrons without getting neutralized. This theory explains only about the protons and electrons and failed to explain the presence of neutral particle neutron. Rutherford's theory. There was shortcoming in Thomson's theory. Ernest Rutherford gave a better understanding. Ernest Rutherford conducted an experiment. He bombarded a very thin layer of gold with positively charged alpha rays. He found that most of these rays which travel at a great velocity passed through a gold sheet without encountering any obstacles. A few are, however, turned back from the sheet. Rutherford considered this remarkable and miraculous, as if a bullet had turned back after colliding with tissue paper. Based on this experiment, Rutherford proposed his famous theory. In his opinion, the fact that most alpha particles pass through the gold sheet means that the atom consists mainly of empty space. The part from which the positively charged particles are turned back is positively charged but very small in size as compared to the empty space. From these inferences, Rutherford presented his theory of the structure of atoms. For this theory, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. Rutherford's theory proposes that the nucleus at the center of the atom has the positive charge. Most of the mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. The negatively charged electrons revolve around the nucleus in specific orbits. In comparison with the size of the atom, the nucleus is very, very small. You have around 7 billion atoms in your body, yet you replace about 98% of them every year. The subatomic particles. The discoveries made during the 20th century proved that atoms of all elements are made up of smaller components: electron, proton and neutron. An electron from hydrogen atom is no different from electron of a carbon atom. In the same manner, protons and neutrons of all elements also have same characteristics. These particles that make up the atom are called subatomic particles. In 1878, Sir William Crookes, while conducting an experiment using a discharge tube, found certain visible rays traveling between two metal electrodes. These rays are known as Crookes rays or cathode rays. The discharge tube used in the experiment is now referred as Crookes tube, or more popularly as cathode ray tube, CRT. Cathode ray tube is a long glass tube filled with gas and sealed at both the ends. It consists of two metal plates, which act as electrodes, connected with high voltage. The electrode which is connected to the negative terminal of the battery is called the cathode, negative electrode. The electrode connected to the positive terminal is called the anode, positive electrode. There is a side tube which is connected to a pump. The pump is used to lower the pressure inside the discharge tube. Electricity, when passes through air, removes the electrons from the gaseous atoms and produces ions. This is called electrical discharge. Proton, P. The proton is the positively charged particle and it's located in the nucleus. Its positive charge is of the same magnitude as that of the electron's negative charge. Discovery of protons. The presence of positively charged particles in the atom has been precisely predicted by Goldstein based on the conception that the atom, being electrically neutral in nature, should necessarily possess positively charged particles to balance the negatively charged electrons. Goldstein repeated the cathode ray experiment by using a perforated cathode. On applying a high voltage under low pressure, he observed a faint red glow on the wall behind the cathode. Since these rays originated from the anode, they were called anode rays or canal rays or positive rays. Anode rays were found as a stream of positively charged particles. When invisible radiation falls on materials like zinc sulfide, they emit a visible light or glow. These materials are called fluorescent materials. Properties of anode rays. Anode rays travel in straight lines. Anode rays are made up of material particles. Anode rays are deflected by electric and magnetic fields. Since they are deflected towards the negatively charged plate, they consist of positively charged particles. The properties of anode rays depend upon the nature of the gas taken inside in the discharge tube. The mass of the particle is the same as the atomic mass of the gas taken inside the discharge tube. When hydrogen gas was taken in a discharge tube, the positively charged particles obtained from the hydrogen gas were called protons. Each of these protons are produced when one electron is removed from one hydrogen atom. Thus, a proton can be defined as an hydrogen ion. H+, HH plus E. Neutron, N. Neutron is inside the nucleus. The neutron does not have any charge. Excepting hydrogen, protonium, the nuclei of all atoms contain neutrons. Discovery of neutrons. At the time of J.J. Thomson, only two fundamental particles, proton and electron, were known. In the year 1932, James Chadwick discovered another fundamental particle, called neutron. But the proper position of these particles in an atom was not clear till Rutherford described the structure of atom. You will study about Rutherford's atom model in your higher classes. Properties of neutrons. Neutron is a neutral particle, that is, it carries no charge. It has mass equal to that of a proton, that is 1.6 times 10 to 24 grams. Electron, E. This is a negatively charged particle. Electrons revolve around the nucleus of the atom in specific orbits. The mass of an electron is negligible as compared to that of a proton or neutron. Hence, the mass of an atom depends on the number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. Protons and neutrons are the two types of particles in the nucleus of an atom. They are called nucleons. The total negative charge of all an electrons outside the nucleus is equal to the total positive charge in the nucleus. That makes the atom electrically neutral. Discovery of electrons. When a high electric voltage of 10,000 volts or more is applied to the electrode of a discharge tube containing air or any gas at atmospheric pressure, no electricity flows through the air. However, when the high voltage of 10,000 volts is applied to the electrodes of discharge tube containing air or any gas at a very low pressure of about 0.001 millimeters of mercury, a greenish glow is observed on the walls of the discharge tube behind anode. This observations clearly show some invisible ray coming from the cathode. Hence, these rays are called cathode rays. Later, they were named as electrons. The fact that air is a poor conductor of electricity is a blessing in disguise for us. Imagine what would happen if air had been a good conductor of electricity. All of us would have got electrocuted when a minor spark was produced by accident. Properties of cathode rays. Cathode rays travel in straight line from cathode towards anode. Cathode rays are made up of material particles which have mass and kinetic energy. Cathode rays are deflected by both electric and magnetic fields. They are negatively charged particles. The nature of the cathode rays does not depend on the nature of the gas filled inside the tube or the cathode used. In television tube, cathode rays are deflected by magnetic fields. A beam of cathode rays is directed toward a coated screen on the front of the tube, whereby varying the magnet field generated by electromagnetic coils, the beam traces a luminescent image. Atom and atomic mass. As you know, anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Atoms are the building blocks of matter. Since matter has mass, it must be due to its atoms. According to the modern atomic theory, an atom contains subatomic particles such as protons, neutrons and electrons. Protons and neutrons have considerable mass, but electrons don't have such a considerable mass. Thus, the mass of an atom is mainly contributed by its protons and neutrons, and hence the sum of the number of protons and neutrons of an atom is called its mass number. Individual atoms are very small and it is difficult to measure their masses. You can measure the mass of macroscopic materials in gram or kilogram. The mass of an atom is measured in atomic mass unit, AMU. Atomic mass unit is 1/12 of the mass of a carbon-12 atom, an isotope of carbon, which contains 6 protons and 6 neutrons. Note, the symbol AMU is no longer used in the modern system and instead, it uses the symbol U to denote unified atomic mass. The mass of a proton or neutron is approximately 1 AMU. Relative atomic mass, RAM. As an atom is very small, its absolute mass cannot be determined directly. The early pioneers of chemistry used to measure the atomic mass of an atom relative to an atom of another element. They measured the masses of equal number of atoms of 2 or more elements at a time to determine their relative masses. They established one element as a standard, gave it an arbitrary value of atomic mass, and using this value they measured the relative mass of other elements. The mass obtained by this way is called relative atomic mass. In the beginning, the mass of hydrogen atom was chosen as a standard and masses of other atoms were compared with it because of the existence of isotopic character of hydrogen, 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. Later hydrogen atom was replaced by oxygen atom as the standard. Now, the stable isotope of carbon, C12, with atomic mass 12 is used as the standard for measuring the relative atomic mass of an element. Relative atomic mass of an element is the ratio between the average mass of its isotopes to 1/12th part of the mass of a carbon-12 atom. It is denoted as AR. It is otherwise called standard atomic weight. Relative atomic mass, AR, is equal to average mass of the isotopes of the element of the mass of one carbon-12 atom. 1/12. Modern methods of determination of atomic mass by mass spectrometry uses C12 as standard. For most of the elements, the relative atomic mass is very closer to a whole number and it is rounded off to a whole number to make calculations easier. Relative atomic mass of elements, C12 scale. Relative atomic mass is only a ratio, so it has no unit. If the atomic mass of an element is expressed in grams, it is called as gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass of hydrogen is equal to 1 g. Gram atomic mass of carbon is equal to 12 g. Gram atomic mass of nitrogen is equal to 14 g. Gram atomic mass of oxygen is equal to 16 g. Average atomic mass, ARM. How can one measure the atomic mass of an element? It is somewhat more complicated because most of the naturally occurring elements exist as a mixture of isotopes, each of which has its own mass. Thus, it is essential to consider this isotopic mixture while calculating the atomic mass of an element. But, abundance of isotopes of each element may differ. So, abundancy of all these isotopes are taken into consideration while calculating atomic mass. Then, what do we mean by a weighted average? Let us consider an element which exists as a mixture of 50% of an isotope having a mass of 9 μ and 50% of another isotope having a mass of 10 μ. Then, its average atomic mass is calculated by the following equation. Average atomic mass is equal to mass of first isotope times percent abundance of first isotope plus mass of second isotope times percent abundance of second isotope. Note, in the calculations involving percentages, you need to convert percentage abundance into fractional abundance. For example, 50% is converted into 50 by 100 or 0.50 as shown in the aforesaid calculation. The atomic masses of elements given in the periodic table are average atomic masses. Sometimes, the term atomic weight is used to mean average atomic mass. It is observed from the periodic table that atomic masses of most of the elements are not whole numbers. For instance, the atomic mass of carbon given in the periodic table is 12.01 μ, not 12.00 μ. The reason is that while calculating the atomic mass of carbon, both of its natural isotopes such as carbon-12 and carbon-13 are considered. The natural abundance of C12 and C13 are 98.90% and 1.10% respectively. The average of the atomic mass of carbon is calculated as follows. Average atomic mass of carbon is equal to 12 times 98.9100 plus 13 times 1.1100 is equal to 12 times 0.989 plus 13 times 0.011 is equal to 11.868 plus 0.143 is equal to 12.011 μ. So it is important to understand that if it is mentioned that the atomic mass of carbon is 12 μ, it refers to the average atomic mass of the carbon isotopes, not the mass of the individual atoms of carbon. Atomic number and mass number. If all elements are made up of same type of electrons, protons and neutrons, how does a carbon atom differ from an iron atom? Further investigations led to the discovery that the number of the protons inside the nucleus of an atom determines what element it is. For example, if the nucleus has only one proton, then all such atoms are hydrogen atom. If there are 8 protons, then that atom is oxygen. Is the structure of the atom the same as the structure of the solar system? Yes. It is similar to the solar system. It has a core center called nucleus and it has parts called orbits around the nucleus. Atomic number, Z. The number of electrons or protons in an atom is called the atomic number of that atom. It is represented by the letter Z. If we know the atomic number of an atom, we know the number of electrons or protons in it. The hydrogen nucleus has one proton around which revolves one electron. It means that its atomic number Z is equal to 1. In the helium atom there are 2 protons and 2 electrons in orbit around the nucleus, so the atomic number of helium is Z is equal to 2. Look at the atomic structure of oxygen shown in the figure. What is its atomic number? Mass number, A, or atomic mass. We have seen that the mass of an atom is concentrated in its nucleus. From this, we can get the atomic mass number. Mass number, A, is equal to the sum of the number of protons, B, and neutrons, N, in the nucleus. Atomic mass or mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. A is equal to P plus N. A lithium atom contains 3 protons and 4 neutrons. Its atomic mass number A is equal to 3 plus 4 equals 7. In a sodium atom, there are 11 protons and 12 neutrons. Hence, its atomic mass number A is equal to 11 plus 12 equals 23. Relationship between mass number and atomic number. Mass number A is equal to atomic number Z plus number of neutrons N. Atomic number Z is equal to number of protons or number of electrons. A is equal to Z plus N. Atomic number designated as ZY. Z stands for Zahl, which means number in German. Z can be called Atomzahl or atomic number. A is the symbol recommended in the ACS style guide instead of M, Massenzahl in German. Why do some isotopes show radioactivity? When the number of neutrons exceeds the number of protons in the nucleus of atoms, some nuclei become unstable. These unstable nuclei break up spontaneously, emitting certain type of radiations. They are known as radioactive isotopes. Examples: H3 and C14. Many elements have isotopes, of which some of them are radioactive isotopes. Uses of radioactive isotopes. Radioactivity prevails around us. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the buildings we live in, all contain small amounts of radioactive materials. This radiation will be present always. Thus, there are a lot of low-level natural radioactivity around us. For example, our bodies contain radioisotopes, such as potassium-40, which continuously emit radiation, but the level is so low that this does not harm us. The picture below shows us how radioactive carbon, C14, is all around us. Isotopes. Atoms of the same element can have different number of neutrons. Such atoms will have same atomic number but different mass numbers. These atoms are called isotopes. For example, hydrogen has 3 isotopes: hydrogen, 1H1, deuterium, 1H2, tritium, 1H3. Isobars. What is the difference between these two atoms? The above two elements, calcium and argon, have atomic number 20 and atomic number 18 respectively. This means they have different number of protons and electrons. But the mass number of both these elements is 40. It follows that the total number of nucleons in both of them are the same. Atoms of different elements with different atomic numbers, which have the same mass number, are known as isobars. Isotones. The above pair of elements, boron and carbon, has the same number of neutrons but different number of protons and hence different atomic numbers. Atoms of different elements with different atomic numbers and different mass numbers, but with the same number of neutrons, are called isotones. How are electrons arranged around the nucleus in an atom? So far we have been discussing about the nucleus of an atom and the protons and neutrons which constitute the nucleus. We also saw that electrons are extranuclear particles and they revolve around the nucleus in fixed trajectories or orbits. Let us now see how electrons are arranged in different orbits. The systematic arrangement of electrons in various shells or orbits in an atom is called the electronic configuration. Electronic configuration of atoms. You already know that electrons occupy different energy levels called orbits or shells. The distribution of electrons in these orbits of an atom is governed by certain rules or conditions. These are known as Bohr and Bury rules of electronic configuration. Bohr and Bury simultaneously proposed the following rules for the distribution of electrons in different shells. Rule 1. The maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in a shell is equal to 2n2, where n is the quantum number of the shell, i.e., the serial number of the shell from the nucleus. Rule 2. Shells are filled in a stepwise manner in the increasing order of energy. Rule 3. The outermost shell cannot have more than 8 electrons and the next inner, i.e., the penultimate shell cannot have more than 18 electrons. Atoms are so tiny their mass number cannot be expressed in grams but expressed in mU, atomic mass unit. New unit is U. Size of an atom can be measured in nanometer. 1 nm is equal to 10 9m. Even though atom is an invisible tiny particle, nowadays atoms can be viewed through SEM, that is scanning electron microscope. Valence electrons. How many electrons are in the outermost shell? The outermost shell of an atom is called its valence shell, and the electrons present in the valence shell are known as valence electrons. Hydrogen atom has only one electron in its valence shell. Hence it has one valence electron. Similarly, carbon has 4 electrons in the outermost shell, and so it has 4 valence electrons. The chemical properties of elements are decided by these valence electrons, since they are the ones that take part in chemical reaction. The elements with the same number of electrons in the valence shell show similar properties, and those with different numbers of valence electrons show different chemical properties. Elements which have valence electrons 1 or 2 or 3, except hydrogen, are metals. These elements can lose electrons to form ions which are positively charged and are called cations. E.g., Na plus 2, 8, 1, 2, 8 elements with 4 to 7 electrons in their valence shells are nonmetals. These elements can gain electrons to form ions which are negatively charged and are called anions. E.g., Cl plus CCl, chlorine has valence electrons 7, 2, 8, 7 to 8, 8. Valency. Valency of an element is the combining capacity of the element with other elements and is equal to the number of electrons that take part in a chemical reaction. Valency of the elements having valence electrons 1, 2, 3, 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively. While valency of an element with 5, 6 and 7 valence electrons is 3, 2 and 1, 8 valence electrons, respectively, where 8 is the number of electrons required by an element to attain stable electronic configuration. Elements having completely filled outermost shells show zero valency. For example, the electronic configuration of neon is 2, 8, completely filled. So valency is 0. Illustration. Assign the valency of magnesium and sulfur. Electronic configuration of magnesium is 2, 8, 2. So valency is 2. Electronic configuration of sulfur is 2, 8, 6. So valency is 2, i.e., 8 to 6. Introduction to quantum numbers. We have learned to designate orbits, shells, by K, L, M, N, and orbitals, subshells, as S, P, D and F. We have seen that electrons are filled into these orbitals according to certain rules. Can we now designate an electron in an atom in a manner in which it gets a unique identity? Each electron inside of an atom has its own identity, which is given by 4 quantum numbers that communicate a great deal of information about that electron. The numbers which designate and distinguish various atomic orbitals and electrons present in an atom are called quantum numbers. How would you describe to someone exactly where you live? I guess you would start with your address. V2V books, similar to the identity for an electron. When you specify the location of a building, you usually list which country it is in, which state and city it is in that country, then the area and the street and the door number. Just like no two buildings have the exact same address, no two electrons can have the same set of quantum numbers. A quantum number describes a specific aspect of an electron. Just like we have 4 ways of defining the location of a building, country, state, city, and street address, we have 4 ways of defining the properties of an electron, I.E.F.O. or quantum numbers. These quantum numbers tell us how far is the electron from the nucleus, principal quantum number, which orbital does it occupy and what is its shape, azimuthal quantum number, how this orbital is oriented in space, magnetic quantum number, what kind of spin the electron has. Spin quantum number. Quantum number symbol information conveyed. Principal quantum number N main energy level azimuthal quantum number L subshell shape of orbital magnetic quantum number M orientation of orbitals spin quantum number S spin of the electron. You will learn more details about this in higher classes. Valency. Imagine there are various people having different pattern of hands. Some have no hands and some have 1, some 2 and others 3. Few have 4 and no one has more than 4. The person with 4 hands can hold hands of 4 others at the same time, while the one with no hands can never hold any hand. In this manner, some atoms can hold 1 electron, some can hold 2, some can hold 3, some can hold 4 and some cannot hold any electron. This property is called valency. What makes atoms stick together? Electrons carry a negative electric charge, and protons carry a positive charge. The attraction between them holds electrons in orbits. This combining property of an atom is called as valency. It is a measure of how many hydrogen atoms it can combine with. For example, oxygen can combine with 2 hydrogen atoms and create water molecule. The valency of oxygen atom is 2. In the case of chlorine, it can combine with only 1 hydrogen to create HCl, hydrochloric acid. Here the valency of chlorine is 1. Methane has 1 carbon atom combining with 4 hydrogen atoms to form a carbon molecule is methane, CH4. Can you guess the valency of carbon in methane? In ammonia molecules, nitrogen combines with 3 hydrogen atoms. What is the valency of nitrogen in ammonia? Valency is defined as the combining capacity of an element. Atoms of different elements combine with each other to form molecules. Valency determines the number of atoms of an element that combines with atom or atoms of another type. The element having valency 1 is called monovalent. For example, hydrogen and sodium. The elements having valency 2 are called divalent. For example, oxygen and beryllium. The elements having valency 3 are called trivalent. For example, nitrogen and aluminium. Some elements exhibits more than 1 valency. For example, iron combines with oxygen to form 2 types ferrous oxide, exhibits valency 2, and ferric oxide, exhibits valency 3, however we will study about them later. When atoms of different elements combine with each other, then molecules of compounds are formed. In these instances, it is necessary to know the valencies of those elements. In order to understand the valency of elements clearly, we need to learn a little about Rutherford's atom model here. According to Rutherford, an atom consists of subatomic particles, namely proton, electron and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are found at the center of an atom, called the nucleus. Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a circular path, called orbits or shells. An atom has a number of orbits and each orbit has electrons. The electrons revolving in the outermost orbit are called valence electrons. The arrangement of electrons in the orbits is known as electronic configuration. Atoms of all the elements will tend to have a stable electronic configuration, that is, they will tend to have either 2 electrons, known as duplet, or 8 electrons, known as octet, in their outermost orbit. For example, helium has 2 electrons in the outermost orbit and so it is chemically inert. Similarly, neon is chemically inert because it has 8 electrons in the outermost orbit. The valence electrons in an atom readily participate in a chemical reaction and so the chemical properties of an element are determined by these electrons. When molecules are formed, atoms combine together in a fixed proportion because each atom has different combining capacity. This combining capacity of an atom is called valency. Valency is defined as the number of electrons lost, gained or shared by an atom in a chemical combination so that it becomes chemically inert. V2V books. Types of valency. As we saw earlier, an atom will either gain or lose electrons in order to attain the stable electronic configuration. In order to understand valency in a better way, it can be explained in 2 ways depending on whether an atom gains or loses electrons. Atoms of all metals will have 1 to 3 electrons in their outermost orbit. By losing these electrons, they will have stable electronic configuration. So, they lose them to other atoms in a chemical reaction and become positively charged. Such atoms which donate electrons are said to have positive valency. For example, a sodium atom, atomic number 11, has 1 electron in its outermost orbit and in order to have stability it loses 1 electron and becomes positively charged. Thus, sodium has positive valency. All nonmetals will have 4 to 7 electrons in the outermost orbit of their atoms. In order to attain stable electronic configuration, they need few electrons. They accept these electrons from other atoms in a chemical reaction and become negatively charged. These atoms which accept electrons are said to have negative valency. For example, a chlorine atom, atomic number 17, has 7 electrons in its outermost orbit. By gaining 1 electron it attains stable electronic configuration. Thus, chlorine has negative valency. Valency with respect to atoms. Valency of an element is also determined with respect to other atoms. Generally, valency of an atom is determined with respect to hydrogen, oxygen and chlorine. Valency with respect to hydrogen. Since a hydrogen atom loses 1 electron in its outermost orbit, its valency is taken as 1 and it is selected as the standard. Valencies of the other elements are expressed in terms of hydrogen. Thus, valency of an element can also be defined as the number of hydrogen atoms which combine with 1 atom of it. In a hydrogen chloride molecule, one hydrogen atom combines with one chlorine atom. Thus, the valency of chlorine is 1. Similarly, in water molecule, two hydrogen atoms combine with one oxygen atom. So, valency of oxygen is 2. Since some of the elements do not combine with hydrogen, the valency of the element is also defined in terms of other elements like chlorine or oxygen. This is because almost all elements combine with chlorine and oxygen. Valency with respect to chlorine. Since valency of chlorine is 1, the number of chlorine atoms with which one atom of an element can combine is called valency. In sodium chloride, NaCl, molecule, one chlorine atom combines with one sodium atom. So, the valency of sodium is 1. But, in magnesium chloride, MgCl2, valency of magnesium is 2 because it combines with two chlorine atoms. Valency with respect to oxygen. In another way, valency can be defined as double the number of oxygen atoms with which one atom of an element can combine because valency of oxygen is 2. For example, in magnesium oxide, MgO, valency of magnesium is 2. Variable valency. Atoms of some elements combine with atoms of other elements and form more than one product. Thus, they are said to have different combining capacities. These atoms have more than one valency. Some cations exhibit more than one valency. For example, copper combines with oxygen and forms two products, namely cuprous oxide, Cu2O, and cupric oxide, CuO. In Cu2O, valency of copper is 1 and in CuO valency of copper is 2. For lower valency, a suffix -os is attached at the end of the name of the metal. For higher valency, a suffix -ic is attached at the end of the name of the metal. Sometimes Roman numerals such as I, 2, 3, 4, etc. indicated in parentheses followed by the name of the metal can also be used. Ions. In an atom, the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons and so the atom is electrically neutral. But, during chemical reactions, unstable atoms try to attain stable electronic configuration, duplet or octet, either by gaining or losing one or more electrons. When an atom gains an electron, it has more number of electrons and thus it carries negative charge. At the same time, when an atom loses an electron, it has more protons and thus it carries a positive charge. These atoms which carry positive or negative charges are called ions. The number of electrons gained or lost by an atom is shown as a superscript to the right of its symbol. When an atom loses an electron, plus sign is shown in the superscript and sign is shown if an electron is gained by an atom. Sometimes, two or more atoms of different elements collectively lose or gain electrons to acquire positive or negative charge. Thus we can say, an atom or a group of atoms, when they either lose or gain electrons, get converted into ions or radicals. Types of ions. Ions are classified into two types. They are ocations and anions. Cations. If an atom loses one or more electrons during a chemical reaction, it will have more number of positive charge on it. These are called cations or positive radicals. Sodium atom loses one electron to attain stability and it becomes cation. Sodium ion is represented as Na+. Anions. If an atom gains one or more electrons during a chemical reaction, it will have more number of negative charge on it. These are called anions or negative radicals. Chlorine atom attains stable electronic configuration by gaining an electron. Thus, it becomes an ion. Chlorine ion is represented as Cl. Different valent ions. During a chemical reaction, an atom may gain or lose more than one electron. An ion or radical is classified as monovalent, divalent, trivalent or tetravalent when the number of charges over it is 1, 2, 3 or 4 respectively. Based on the charges carried by the ions, they will have different valencies. Valency of anions, negative radicals, and cations, positive radicals. The valency of an anion or cation is a number which expresses the number of hydrogen atoms or any other monovalent atoms, Na K, Cl, which combine with them to give an appropriate compound. For example, 2 hydrogen atoms combine with 1 sulfate ions, so 42, to form sulfuric acid, H2SO4. So, the valency of SO42 is 2. 1 chlorine atom, Cl, combines with 1 ammonium ion, NH4+, to form NH4Cl. So, the valency of NH4+ is 1. 1.9 molecule and molecular mass. Except noble gases, atoms of most of the elements are found in the combined form with itself or atoms of other elements. It is called a molecule. A molecule is a combination of 2 or more atoms held together by strong chemical forces of attraction, i.e. chemical bonds. Conceptual thoughts: all compounds are molecules, but all molecules are not compounds. Why? Classification of molecules. A molecule may contain atoms of the same element or may contain atoms of 2 or more elements joined in a fixed ratio, in accordance with the law of definite proportions. Thus, a molecule may be an element or a compound. If the molecule is made of similar kind of atoms, then it is called homoatomic molecule. The molecule that consists of atoms of different elements is called heteroatomic molecule. A compound is a heteroatomic molecule. The number of atoms present in the molecule is called its atomicity. Relative molecular mass, RMM. As the molecules are made of atoms, they also have their own mass. The mass of the molecule of an element or compound is measured in the C12 scale and hence called relative molecular mass. The relative molecular mass of a molecule is the ratio between the mass of one molecule of the substance to 1/12th mass of an atom of carbon -12. Relative molecular mass is only a ratio. So, it has no unit. If the molecular mass of a compound is expressed in grams, it is called gram molecular mass. Gram molecular mass of water is equal to 18 g. Gram molecular mass of carbon dioxide is equal to 44 g. Gram molecular mass of ammonia is equal to 17 g. Gram molecular mass of HCl is equal to 36.5 g. The relative molecular mass is obtained by adding together the relative atomic masses of all the atoms present in a molecule. Difference between atoms and molecules. Even though atoms are the basic components of molecules, they differ in many aspects when compared to the molecules. Atom. An atom is the smallest particle of an element. Atom does not exist in free state except in a noble gas. Except some of noble gas, other atoms are highly reactive. Atom does not have a chemical bond. Molecule. A molecule is the smallest particle of an element or compound. Molecule exists in freer state. Molecules are less reactive. Atoms in a molecule are held by chemical bonds. Mole concept. So far we discussed matters in terms of individual atoms and molecules. Atomic mass units provide a relative scale for the masses of the elements. Since the atoms have such small masses, no usable scale can be devised to weigh them in the calibrated units of atomic mass units. In any real situation, we deal with macroscopic samples containing enormous numbers of atoms. Therefore, it is convenient to have a special unit to describe a very large number of atoms. The idea of a unit to denote a particular number of objects is not new. For example, the pair, 2 items, and the dozen, 12 items, are all familiar units. Chemists measure atoms and molecules in moles. So, you can now understand that mole denotes a number of particles. In the C system, the mole is the amount of a substance that contains as many elementary entities, atoms, molecules, or other particles as there are atoms in exactly 12 g, or 0.012 kilograms, of the carbon-12 isotope. The actual number of atoms in 12 g of carbon-12 is determined experimentally. This is called Avogadro's number, Na, named after an Italian scientist, Amedeo Avogadro, who proposed its significance. Its value is 6.023 times 1023. So 1 mole of a substance contains 6.023 times 1023 entities. Thus, 5 moles of oxygen molecules contain 5 times 6.023 times 1023 molecules. Mole concept. The study of the collection of particles by using mole as the counting unit in order to express the mass and volume of such unit particles in a bulk of matter is known as mole concept. The number of moles of a substance can be calculated by various means depending on the data available, as follows. Number of moles of molecules. Number of moles of atoms. Number of moles of a gas. Standard molar volume at STP is equal to 22.4 liter. Number of moles of ions. Note, STP standard temperature and pressure, 273.15 K, 1.00 atm. Mole of atoms. 1 mole of an element contains 6.023 times 1023 atoms and it is equal to its gram atomic mass. i.e., 1 mole of oxygen contains 6.023 times 1023 atoms of oxygen and its gram atomic mass is 16 g. Mole of molecules. V2V 1 mole of matter contains 6.023 times 1023 molecules and it is equal to its gram molecular mass. i.e., 1 mole of oxygen contains 6.023 times 1023 molecules of oxygen and its gram molecular mass is 32 g. Molar volume. 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liter or 22,400 milliliters at STP. This volume is called the molar volume. Calculation of number of moles by different modes. Number of moles is equal to mass atomic mass is equal to mass molecular mass is equal to number of atoms 6.023 times 1023 is equal to number of molecules 6.023 times 1023. Percent composition. So far, we were dealing with the number of entities present in a given substance. But many times, the information regarding the percentage of a particular element present in a compound is required. The percentage composition of a compound represents the mass of each element present in 100 g of the compound. Let us understand the percentage composition of oxygen and hydrogen by taking the example of H2O. It can be calculated using the formula. Mass percent of an element is equal to mass of that element in the compound times 100 molar mass of the compound. Now, molar mass of H2O is equal to 2, 1 plus 16 is equal to 18 g. Mass percent of hydrogen is equal to 218 times 100 is equal to 11.11%. Mass percent of oxygen is equal to 1618 times 100 is equal to 88.89%. This percentage composition is useful to determine the empirical formula and molecular formula. Example 1. Find the mass percentage composition of methane, CH4. Molar mass of CH4 is equal to 12 plus 4 equals 16 g. Mass percent of carbon V2V books is equal to 12 sixteenths times 100 is equal to 75%. Mass percent of hydrogen is equal to 4 sixteenths times 100 is equal to 25%. Avogadro hypothesis. In 1811, Avogadro framed a hypothesis based on the relationship between the number of molecules present in equal volumes of gases in different conditions. The Avogadro's law states that equal volumes of all gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. It follows that the volume of any given gas must be proportional to the number of molecules in it. If V is the volume and N is the number of molecules of a gas, then Avogadro law is represented mathematically as follows. V alpha N. V is equal to constant times N. Thus, 1 liter, 1 dm3 of hydrogen contains the same number of molecules as in 1 liter of oxygen, i.e. the volume of the gas is directly proportional to the number of molecules of the gas. Explanation. Let us consider the reaction between hydrogen and chlorine to form hydrogen chloride gas. H2G plus Cl2G, 2HCl, G. 1 mol plus 1 mol 2 volumes. According to Avogadro's law, 1 volume of any gas is occupied by N number of molecules. N molecules plus N molecules to N molecules. If N is equal to 1, then 1 molecule plus 1 molecule to molecules. A half molecule plus a half molecule 1 molecule. 1 molecule of hydrogen chloride gas is made up of a half molecule of hydrogen and a half molecule of chlorine. Hence, the molecules can be subdivided. This law is in agreement with Dalton's atomic theory. Applications of Avogadro's law. I. It explains Gay-Lussac's law. 2. It helps in the determination of atomicity of gases. 3. Molecular formulae of gases can be derived using Avogadro's law. 4. It determines the relation between molecular mass and vapor density. V. It helps to determine gram-molar volume of all gases, I.e. 22.4 liter at S.T.P. To buy V2V books, call or WhatsApp on 94425224322 to get more details and samples.